I've been meaning to talk about this earlier in the day, but it was just such a hectic day that I really didn't have much of the time. So right now I'm actually making time for it as the day comes to an end, or more likely as the weekend comes to an end. So, anyways, before Ghost Rider existed, there was Kingdom of the Dinosaurs. That was previously my most favorite ride when I was a kid. Every time I would go to Knott's Berry Farm, I love riding that ride. I was a big fan of dinosaurs growing up as a kid, and to this day, I still am. Just years later, you know, even in my adult years, my love for dinosaurs just never strayed. And I was just so excited to watch this recent Jurassic World movie. I think it's what was it, Rebirth or Reborn? I forgot what the third. This might be like the fourth installment, if I'm not mistaken. But it got released in on the 2nd of July, which was Ray's birthday. But I never had a chance to watch it in theaters. I missed out, but I will eventually watch it. You know, so but yeah, to this day, I'm still a really big fan of dinosaurs, and there's no stopping me from it because, hell, I just went to this Halloween club store earlier at the mall with my cousin, and goddamn, when I looked at these skeleton raptors and some of the other like these hands on the chains and all that, shoot, I was just so desperate to buy them, but I didn't have my wallet with me at the time. But I'll make sure when I go back to that store, I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy the. I'm gonna buy maybe about a few of them. Those skeleton raptors. Yeah, because I got another project that I'm gonna be doing after I finish up this one, the one inside my workstation that I'm in right now. So, once I buy those raptors, as well as maybe a few other, you know, Halloween deckers, like the horrifying ones, especially for when I'm about to finish up here on my workstation, then yeah, it's it's gonna be sick ass Halloween, believe it or not. I mean, I've just been gearing up for Halloween every year these last few years, and like I said in last night's video, I still love Christmas, no doubt, but it ain't the same anymore the way that I treat Halloween, because now, ever since these last few years, just watching a bunch of horror clips, especially from these gory horror movies like Saw, and Hostel, and now even Terrifier. God damn, it's like I just become more and more passionate about Halloween than I ever was back then. I'm all into the spooky stuff, don't get me wrong, but you know I'm more about like the dark, scary, immoral side of things when it comes to Halloween, because I'm all about the scary horror stuff. You know what I'm saying? Places like Halloween Haunt, for Knott's, Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and 17 Door. I'm all into that side of Halloween right there, like the dark, creepy, really scary and gory stuff. So when I was in the Halloween club earlier with my cousin, as we were taking this long ass walk, man, that just makes me wonder, man. I gotta buy a lot of this stuff, and including those skeleton raptors, dude. I'll make sure I buy them when I go back to my dump. I'm gonna make sure after work I'm gonna buy them, because I ain't gonna miss out. I'm pretty sure they're still gonna be in stock. So by the time I get back to my dump, which will not be until a couple of days later, since I got some things to do these next couple of days. But yeah, as well as some of the those hands on those chains and some of the horror stuff. Oh my god! And they're not even that expensive either, man. I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it. By the way, I wonder if Spirit Halloween is still around. Um, I know I went to the one in Westminster and the one here by the mall, by you know, the one close to my home. Um, but I don't know if it's there this year. I know the Halloween Club is, but hey, man, I'm gonna start shopping, man. This is usually that time. I mean, I know I have not really shopped very much, for some of the seasonal stuff, be it for Halloween and Christmas. But I still shop just a little bit now. It wasn't like before where it was a lot of decors that I bought, because a lot of the seasonal decors that I do are just they're just handmade, and I'm talking about like just crafted, just straight up from craft work, just out of various recycled materials that are about to be thrown out. I pick some of them up that's worthy of making some of these seasonal crafts, be it for Halloween or Christmas. So that's where all the fun comes in. My creativity comes in. You know, my creativity at its peak on crafting. Just handcraft stuff like that, and it usually comes in right at this time of the season, the bird season, that is. So yeah, but I'll make sure to buy those skeleton raptors. They better be in stock. Well, anyways, sorry to ramble off so much on my passion for Halloween, but let me just get straight to this. So like I said, before Ghost Rider existed, there was my other favorite ride. I think my previous most favorite ride, which is Kingdom of the Dinosaurs. Now, like I said, as a kid, I was a really big dinosaur fan. I learned a lot about dinosaurs, and I may have another video on this where, like, during my time in the 90s as a kid, there was a lot of dinosaur related material, be it in TV shows and some movies, and even in some theme parks. And I pointed out the perfect example, which is Kingdom of the Dinosaurs. So I'm going to talk about that when I get a chance to, because in the 90s there was plenty of movies that were dinosaur related, and I'm talking about movies like We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, Land Before Time, obviously the famous Jurassic Park and the Lost World Jurassic Park, right? I remember going to Circus when they had the Adventure Dome. There was this dinosaur area right there, right next to the roller coaster that I rode on before. They got some dinosaurs there. I also remember Dinosaur Mountain and Safari Park / Wild Animal Park. So there was a lot of dinosaur related material, back in the 90s. And so when I get a chance, I'll talk about that, just not tonight. But getting back to this topic, man, yes, Kingdom of the Dinosaurs was my most favorite ride. Unfortunately, it was gone in, I think it was late 2001, or no. Sometime in 2002. Yeah, because I remember the last time I rode it, the trains were set up differently, because I remember it was just nonstop moving, and with like two cars, it was like a 2-car train, and it was just moving automatically. But then it became like 3 trains at once, and the ride stops, and I didn't really like it like that. But yeah, because we had to make like a couple stops, because of the other trains, when some of the cars were put together to become one long train, they had to load the passengers, and I didn't really like that format. Just the last time I rode it, but overall, dude, the reason why this is just my most favorite ride is because, like I said, I was a big fan of dinosaurs. I mean, I know it was a slow ride, but I find it's just so damn enjoyable. Just going through the whole thing, from going to the lab, then So I remembered almost every bit of the verbiage of that professor in that lab, from the lab balls were closed automatically. Please remain seated, and da da da, something like that. As we go inside, and they had through every tunnel, there's on the side there are like these electricity things, that's like supposed to be the time machine part where it makes those zapping noises like that. And through each tunnel that has those what do you call it, those, I guess, those lightning strikes right there, like the ones that zap, those make those zapping sounds. It was supposed to take you through a certain prehistoric time. Like I remember the first one was it was going through the Ice Age. I guess they had the werewolves and the Indians there, the Indian tribes, and I remembered they had like a big old deer right there, right? So like the forest area, I remember seeing the moon and the stars. So you can go around, and then next thing you know, it reaches my favorite one after that, through the next tunnel with the lightning strikes on the side, as it warps, gets into the continuing the Ice Age, where they will see two really big woolly mammoths and making noises, and the saber-toothed tiger, and I'm not sure what the first animal was. I think it was I want to say it's like a bear-like creature, but I couldn't tell exactly what it was. But after that bear creature, it was the two woolly mammoths, and the saber-toothed tiger. And then after that, it warps you into a forest. And I remember that professor saying, "Oh, trapped. You are 300 million years," something like that. And I remember him saying, "How can I ever get you back?" And so it took us into taking guests into this really, really, really dark place where they will hear the sound of the insects, or more likely so the bees and all that. And then you will ascend this hill, and you're going to be passing by some bush or something like that, and you're seeing some insects, right? And then you hear like a thunderstorm or a lightning, and then you slowly go down, and you see the clock as it warps you into now the prehistoric age, where guests are now going to be taken to see the dinosaurs. Yeah, the actual dinosaurs. The Dimetrodon is what they see first, and then they see this other dinosaur that makes I forgot what that dinosaur is called, and they had this baby right there coming from an egg. It makes this that sound. I forgot what that dinosaur was, so it takes you around there, and then eventually you get to the climax of the ride, which is where the T-Rex is, and that's like right toward the end. So you go through the Stegosaurus, and then that's where all the main dinosaurs are. The Stegosaurus, and then the Apatosaurus, the Brontosaurus, and then eventually leads you to see the Triceratops, those two Triceratops, and then the T-Rex right there, which is the loudest one. And I remember just after passing by the T-Rex, we were passing by its tail, and that's where it roars the loudest. And before, the guests are being warped into the final tunnel, and after that, and it shows, on their left side, like the bones of the Triceratops, and back into the station. Boy, I'm trying to remember how many times I would ride that ride every time I went to Knott's. Like twice, 3 times. Yeah, I was a huge fan of this ride. I just miss it so bad, and no disrespect to the Berry Tales, and that one's a really good ride. I actually liked it. It has a similar concept to the Buzz Lightyear ride in California Adventure, and I also remember riding. I think before the Berry Tales, it was the Iron Reef, and that one was pretty good too. But I think the best one before those two was Kingdom of the Dinosaurs. The fact that it's just so simple, you're just literally sitting there. It's a very slow ride, like Small World, right? And you're just going through these different um, time periods where you'll see these different animals in its time. You're going back 65 million years away. So I just thought I'd discuss my passion for this ride because, once again, I'm a big fan of dinosaurs, and to this very day I still am, which is why I'm going to buy those skeleton raptors for my next project for Halloween. So yeah, I just thought I'd share my thoughts on that this being my most favorite ride before ultimately became Ghost Rider, and to this day it's still Ghost Rider. Um, Obviously, Ghost Rider is the best ride still, even with Hang Time up, and Hang Time is an awesome ride, but Ghost Rider to me is still the best. But yeah, before Ghost Rider, it was Kingdom of the Dinosaurs, and so I just thought I'd share to everyone here that Kingdom of the Dinosaurs was previously my most favorite ride, and I don't know where else I can find. I mean, I remember seeing a car right there, like when Knott had this special, I guess, nostalgic period or something like that. I have a picture with it, that and there's like a, I guess, some kind of background with the dinosaur, so and all that. But yeah, um, I don't know if they're ever gonna bring it back, dude, because now the future is revolving around pretty much just AI, and now just AI robots, and you know, pretty much we're gonna see like what we see in Star Wars and Star Trek, and hell, even that movie. What's that movie? I, Robot. So the future's not that far off from us, man. Although I do love to go back 65 million years ago so I can actually see dinosaurs live. Yeah, call me crazy. I might start making a lot of dinosaur videos.